All right, Class 5A. One of the uh, one of the larger classes. Let me adjust this here. As far as the number of teams in it, um, a lot of chaos in Class 5A. Of course, one of the teams that we had ranked really high, and many had ranked really high at the beginning of the season, the Harding Academy Wildcats have struggled to get things going this season, which is a surprise to many. After they just have been dominating 3 and 4A for the past couple of years, and then this week, you know, the top I think it was 1 through 7 remained unchanged in our rankings from last week, but then at the bottom things got kind of chaotic at those 8 through 10 spots. I say the bottom. If you're in the top 10, you're not at the bottom at all. But at the bottom of our top 10 rankings, just to clarify that. Um, Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the rankings here. Number one, Parkview. Nobody, I'm sure, is surprised by that ranking. Their only loss is to Class 7A Bryant, who we have ranked at number two right now. They're putting on a pretty good season. Had a fantastic win over Little Rock Christian. So every week, Bryant makes Parkview look better um, with how successful they are. Number two, Robinson. Um, Another team that has had some tough challenges, lost to Class 7A Pulaski Academy. So that was a loophole that they had to jump through. Um, tough, tough loss for them. And however, they have played really well against their 5A opponents so far, hence their number two ranking. Number three, Lakeside. This is a team that um, has looked fantastic. Of course, a win over Camden Fairview a couple weeks ago. Um, they looked really good in that game. Grady Oman looks really good. And they've just got talent all over the field. Um, that that really, they can stretch a defense with their pass game. They can run it right down the middle with their run game. They've got a lot of really talented players. Really excited to see how their season turns out. Number four, Valley View. An impressive victory over Harding Academy this week. Valley View looking better every week under Coach Sean Cockrell. Um, and that program continues to churn out some tremendous talent. At number five, the Fairview, Cardinals. Um, they're one of the perennial powers in the class. Um, they've just got they've always got a shot at being pretty good every year, and always excited to see what they bring to the table this season. Close loss to Lakeside put them a little bit further in our rankings. However, they've stayed stagnant this week in their top five spot. Number six, Win. Um, they're going to have an exciting week this week. Big game. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But Win under Coach Toddy has really rebounded as a program, gotten things back on track. I said they were my dark horse contender. I feel like I bring that up every week. Um, they under Coach Toddy, he's a program builder. He's he knows how to get it done at the highest levels. Um, and he's very good at getting the most out of his players, and he's doing that at Win so far. Number seven, Morrilton and Coach Cody McNabb. This is a program that really has usually has a lot of talent. Coach McNabb has been there for some time, and he does a fantastic job at putting it all together. This is a team that bounced back from a 5-5 season last year, and they're looking pretty good to kick off this season. Number eight, Cersei. This is a team that moves into our top 10 this week. They have had some pretty fantastic showings, and that has led them to a top 10 ranking. Number nine, Bologna. This is a program that I was really high on in the offseason because I thought they made possibly the best hire they possibly could have in hiring Coach Ashcraft to come back into coaching after being an AD for a number of years. Um, he's been successful everywhere he's been, Conway, Siloam Springs, and now Bologna. Um, I think that uh, he's just so good, similar to Coach Toddy, at getting the most out of his players and he's put Bologna in a good spot this season at number 9. Number 10, Maumelle, Coach Brian Maupin and the Hornets. Of course, that big transfer class they had in the offseason looks to have been put to some good use as they reach the number 10 spot in our rankings this week. After being removed last week, they find their way back in. Well, we're going to go ahead and get to the games in Class 5A this week. 16 games. We're going to start with Parkview and Hope. Parkview should roll big time in this one. Going to be a good time for Parkview to get a good showing from their players and just take a step in the right direction. Jacksonville versus Searcy. This is another opportunity for Searcy at 4-1 to show what they're made of. And if there's any chaos in our top 7, there's going to be a chance for them to potentially move higher into the rankings with a win this week. I'm going to pick Searcy to win at home. Watson Chapel versus Maumelle. This should be another good week for Maumelle. I'm going to pick the Hornets to get the victory in this game. Morrilton versus Pea Ridge. Morrilton rolling 5-0 under head coach Cody McNabb. Have a signature win over Greenbrier. That's really significant. I believe that Morrilton will get the win over 0-5 Pea Ridge on the road this week. Whitehall versus Robinson. Whitehall off to a slow start under Coach Patton, and like I say, usually they're gonna find their way. Coach Patton's gonna do a good job with that program. Robinson, their only loss is a Class 7A Pulaski Academy, and Pulaski Academy has looked really, really good so far this season, off to an undefeated start. I'm going to pick Robinson to get the victory at home in Little Rock this week. BB versus Pine Bluff. BB, a team that lost last week, got bumped out of our top 10. I think they're going to bounce back and get a victory in a close game against Pine Bluff. Bologna and Alma. Bologna in our top 10. I think Coach Ashcraft is going to have them on a good foot. They're going to have he's building a good foundation at that program this season. They're 4-1. I'm going to pick Bologna to get the victory in that game. I'm very high on them this season and moving forward. Harding Academy versus Batesville. This is going to be a good opportunity for the Wildcats to get their footing, bounce back, and get a victory, and even their record at 500, which is unusual to be saying about Harding Academy. They're usually at the top of the class. It's been a tough adjustment, moving up to 5A. I'm going to pick Harding Academy to get the victory over Batesville on the road in this game and even their record at 500. Brooklyn versus Greene County Tech. Brooklyn, a team that started 3-0 before losing to Wynn. Wynn, obviously, pretty good program, pretty good team. They're building a nice foundation there. I'm going to pick Brooklyn to get the victory and move to 4-2, an impressive start for Brooklyn. Paragould versus Nettleton, 2 Northeast Arkansas teams. I'm going to pick Nettleton. Paragould has started off their season pretty strong, 3-2. Looks like they're building that program pretty well. But I'm going to pick Nettleton to get the victory this season. They only have 1 loss. They look pretty good so far. Greenbrier versus Farmington. This is a contender for the game of the week. This is going to be a fantastic game. Greenbrier, you have to watch out for Enoch Hassan. Put up big numbers last week against Clarksville. And he's going to continue to put on a show every week. They've got fantastic facilities at Farmington and at Greenbrier. They both do a fantastic job at developing their programs. I'm going to pick Greenbrier to get the victory this week. Camden Fairview versus Magnolia. Both teams 3-2. Coach Vaughn at Camden Fairview, Coach Kirby at Magnolia. I think this is going to be an absolute chess match between those 2 coaches. I'm going to pick Camden Fairview to get the victory in a close game. Clarksville versus Harrison. Harrison 0-5, Clarksville 1-4. Game is at Harrison, and I'm going to pick the Goblins to get the victory in this game. All right. Arkansas High School from Texarkana versus Lakeside. Lakeside should be a big favorite in this game. I'm going to pick the Rams to get the victory and move to 5-1 on this season. Wynn versus Valley View. Valley View we have at 4, Wynn we have at 6. This is, in my opinion, especially they're competing with Farmington and Greenbrier. Wynn versus Valley View is the Class 5A game of the week. I'm gonna have to pick Valley View because it's at home. I think this game is going to come right down to the wire. It could be a game where it comes down to a 2-minute drive for either side. Wynn runs the ball really well. Valley View has a really talented quarterback. I'm going to pick Valley View to get the victory in a close game. Hot Springs versus DeQueen. I'm going to pick Hot Springs to get the victory in this game. Hot Springs, under Coach Burnett, he does a fantastic job at that program. I think they're going to get the victory this week. Well, that's going to be it for Class 5A. With the the top of the rankings not moving a whole lot, and with some of these games this week just looking kind of like not many toss-ups this week, to be honest. Just kind of a quick run through of Class 5A. We're going to be back for Class 6 and 7A shortly. But for now, I'm Carson Ward for the ASN Rankings Report, signing off.